Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, good night, whatever time it is video finds you. It's your boy Jay here, and today I pose for you a question. What do you want the next Monster Hunter game to look like? Like, what direction do you want Capcom to take with the next game? Do you want them to chase the highest fidelity possible, go crazy with the 4K HD, even if it's only in 30 frames per second? Or would you prefer something a bit more stylized? Would you prefer something that maybe isn't as cutting edge as far as graphics goes, but you get smoother frame rates and maybe crazier mechanics because the games are easier to work on and they're not as taxing on the new systems, so you can get things like more complicated monster AI, maybe bigger, more intricate maps and stuff like that, right? So I mean, if you want, you could just comment down below right now based on what you've heard already and dip. I'm cool with that. Or you could stick around and hear me talk a little bit more about this, I don't know, question or this thought that I've had, right? Because we're here. Monster Hunter Sunbreak is, Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is almost done, right? We got a couple more event quests, but no more title updates are coming. So Monster Hunter 6 looms on the horizon, and I was like, man, I really want this game to look or feel a certain type of way. So let's speculate on the future of Monster Hunter. So yeah, without further ado, let's dive deeper into the topic. The reason I've had this on my mind for a little while is, I'm quite active on Twitter, and I follow a lot of people that I also talk about, and other creators that talk about Monster Hunter. And the question was posed over there too, and it just got me thinking. I was like, I really don't want the next Monster Hunter to be Final Fantasy 16, right? I'm playing Final Fantasy 16 right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful game. It looks incredible, right? And it's like, it's awe-inspiring. It's like, yo, this game looks crazy. However, it's no secret that a lot of the areas in the game are, well, beautiful hallways, so to speak, right? Because the graphics are so crazy and so intense. The performance mode can't really hold 60 all that well because the PS5 has got to render all this craziness, and the level design also kind of took a hit. It's just hallways, beat up some bad guys, keep it moving, you know what I mean? But like, it looks stunning, the particle effects go crazy, like it looks great, but the level design is kind of lacking. And I guess that's partially due to them trying to squeeze the best graphics out of the PS5, that they can't do too much craziness when it comes to level design, right? So like, let's shift it back over to Monster Hunter a little bit, right? What if, the next Monster Hunter game looks incredible, right? Lifelike scales on the Rathalos, looks amazing. Oh my God. But like, the maps are trash and they suck. You know what I mean? Like, the maps are a huge part of why Monster Hunter is the way it is. I love the way Sunbreak's map design is. You can go anywhere, you can climb anything, and I think that's partially possible just due to the lower fidelity targets that Capcom had in mind when creating for the Switch, right? It's no secret that the Switch is a little bit lacking when it comes to the power side, right? So I would hate for them to, fully switch gears and go, yeah, let's make this game for, the current generation of systems, that being the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. And, map design takes a huge hit because the graphics and the fidelity go way up. But the level design starts to lack, right? Or the crazy things that you can do in combat, right? And the thing about Sunbreak is, it's on PC, it's on PlayStation 5, it's on Xbox Series X. Rock solid performance on all of those platforms, right? Because like, game was designed to run on a Switch, which is, a whole lot weaker than those platforms. So now that it's come out to those, we're getting rock solid performance, 4K textures. It looks great. It looks awesome when I see, PC footage, even though I'm still playing on Switch, and that's the footage you're looking at right now. I mean, yeah, the Switch performance isn't the best, right? I mean, it's targeting 30 and there's dips here and there. I mean, I'm fighting a Risen Shigaru right now, and the particle effects, when they get kind of crazy, the Switch is like, help me, right? But the current generation of systems, the PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, muscle through that, no problem, I'd imagine, right? So I actually wouldn't mind the game to look more like how Monster Hunter World looked, right? Although that was designed on a different engine, that being MT Framework, whereas Rise and Sunbreak are on the RE engine. Maybe they make the RE engine Monster Hunter game, they make it look a little bit better, even if it looked the exact same as World. But that performance on PlayStation 5, that 60 frames per second, hell, World is still a beautiful game, but now that they have access to more power, maybe they use that power to have more complicated monster AI, or like bigger and better maps, right? Like maps like the Citadel or Lava Caverns. I like those maps a lot. Why? Because the type of maps that we have with the Citadel, you got the frozen area, you got the forest land area, and then you got like the ruined city area. You can have a bunch of different monsters on that map and it still makes sense, right? Same thing with the Lava Caverns. Like, when you say it out loud, what the hell is a Royal Ludroth doing at the volcano? Don't make no sense. But because the lava caverns are filled with water in certain areas, actually, yeah, the Royal Ludroth can be over there. Somnicanth can go over there. And if they manage to, you know, make Legaia Cruz work in the next game, maybe Legaia Cruz can go to the volcano too, because it's two different biomes in the same kind of map, and you can make the maps bigger if the game isn't as hard to, you know, program or work with. You know what I mean? And that brings me to my next topic. With a more stylized game, maybe the title updates can be bigger, or maybe they won't take us longer to come out, and maybe we can get crazier and better mechanics and more awe-inspiring fights, rather than we get smaller title updates that are like one monster each, simply because the game's assets and performance are just so big, and you know, the graphics have to be so good that, man, we can only squeeze in one monster per title update. I'd rather title updates with 3, 4, 5 monsters like what we got with Sunbreak. You know, quite big expansions to the game, and they add a lot of content each time, rather than, you know, the graphics look good. Like, I'm gonna get tired of looking at good graphics, right? Typically, for me, gameplay above everything, man. So if the gameplay could be top notch because the graphics are a little less, I'd be cool with that. Hell, I'd be cool if we got a mainline Monster Hunter game that looks like Stories 2. But because it looks like Stories 2, it's easier to get monsters in, it's easier to have big maps, and you can have something almost like a GU2 again, right? Except this time with the Generation 5 mechanics, this time in that new style of Monster Hunter, right? You can have a bunch of monsters in it because, you know, it's easier to work with as far as like developing. But, you know, that's just my thoughts on the matter. Like I said, hit the comment section below. Let's discuss this further. That's the reason why I made this video. I want to hear from the community, from you guys. What do you guys think about this topic? Which would you rather? Ultra high crazy graphics, even if that means sacrificing a little bit of gameplay or sacrificing map design? Or would you rather something a bit more stylized, maybe less graphically intense, but things like monster AI and map design go way up because of the new power of these consoles? So yeah, let me know in the comment section down below. I'll reply to each and every comment that hits this video. And as always, people, happy hunting. Peace.